This is an AQA GCSE chemistry question. It's from Trilogy Paper 2019 and it's a higher question. Going to recommend you pause, go through the question first and then review. So here's parts A and B, part C, and finally part D. In total, an 8-mark question. So the answers, part A, what do we mean when we talk about a formulation? Again, keywords, definitions, very important in chemistry. Formulation is a mixture designed to be a useful product. That's all you need to remember. Explain how paper chromatography separates the dyes in a food colouring, and you'll note it's telling you not to give details of how to do the experiment. We don't need to know about the pencil line 1 centimetre up. We don't need to know about labelling the samples, for example. So, different dyes have different solubilities. They all dissolve by differing amounts. Some are very soluble, some are pretty insoluble. And that will determine how far they move up the paper. The more soluble a dye is, the further up the paper it will travel. Moving on to part C, how could the student tell from a chromatogram that the food colouring contained more than one dye? So what you do is look at your chromatogram and you look at your sample and you look vertically upwards from there. If the food colouring contained more than one dye, there would be more than one dot. And then finally for part D, explain how the student could use chromatography to identify unknown dyes in food colouring. So what you would do is run known samples of dyes. So you gather almost a library of data. And then you compare the RF value of your sample with the samples of the known dyes, and you find the ones that have the same RF value. And that takes us to the end of this question.